Great to be back here after the bye and see everyone, and we're just excited to announce, a 3-year contract extension for Tim Patrick and a 4-year contract extension, for Courtland Sutton, and it's just fitting that we got both these players done, within days apart, just based on what they've been through in their careers, the ups and downs, and for them to come out of it ahead and where they are today. And I've done a lot of deals over the years, but these two just feel really good just because of what they've been through. They're two of our core players, important parts of what we're building as a team. And it's a priority for us to reward and secure these type of players for the long term. And starting with Tim, everything, he represents everything we want as a player, the hard work, the production, the dependable. He's smart, he's tough, hard worker. He brings it every day. He has juice out on the field, and just watching him go about his business. Even today, we tried to get this done about 20 minutes ago, and we had to wait for him and Courtland, and that's just the kind of people they are. And just the great story of perseverance with Tim, undrafted out of college, overlooked, University of Utah. And then he bounces around, the NFL, and finally finds a home in Denver with the Broncos, but as a special teamer. I mean, he was one of the better special teamers these guys, they had here. And then he just kept working, and he's emerged in one of the top, young receivers in the NFL. And it's just a credit to Tim, and couldn't be more proud calling him and just congratulating him on the phone. And this guy's self-made, and he's earned it. Courtland, obviously, great player as well, great teammate, hard worker, top intangibles. And just as a receiver, the rarest combination of size and speed and strength and athleticism, really hard to defend, and just what he's come through. 2019, this guy's one of the top receivers in the NFL. Obviously has the ACL injury last year, didn't mope, didn't pout. You see him out here every day just working and grinding, and he did it with a smile on his face. And I would come out here I'd be in a bad mood up there. I just want to come out here and just see him work because it put me in a better spot. So it's just, when I think about Courtland, I think about unique competitiveness, day in and day out. This guy has a will to win. He brings it every day, just like Tim does. And that's why he was named captain and voted captain by his teammates. So we have 2 winners here. We feel like they're just scratching the surface of their potential. We're going to win a lot of games with these 2 players and the rest of our core, and just couldn't be happier. These deals came together really over the last week or so, and I just want to recognize our Vice President of Football Operations, Rich Hurtado, just for his professionalism, working with Tim's agent, Chase Callahan, who's first class, and Courtland's agent, Jacob Presser, a great agent as well. And to get these extensions done, it was just a terrific process, no distractions. It was during the season. You didn't read about it in the media. So I just applaud the 2 agents and Rich for the work they did to get these deals done. I also want to thank John Elway and Matt Russell for finding these 2 guys. The 2 of the best players, and then they went out and found them. I also want to thank Joe Ellis, for the resources. Once again, he gave us resources to lock up a couple of our core players, and couldn't be more appreciative of Joe. I also want to thank the coaches, Vic, and the coaches, especially Zach Azzani, for all the work they put into developing, Tim and Court. And one other guy I want to thank is Vince Garcia and his staff, for working. They were out with Courtland, every day working and grinding. And a lot of our players, we've had a number of injuries. Those guys don't get the credit, but this is a testament to their work, and that he's back as one of the top receivers in the NFL. And with that, I want to hand it over to these 2. Congrats, Tim and Courtland. You guys are a true testament of what it's all about, being a great teammate, being great people, and being great players. And you're going to lead us to a lot of victories moving forward. So I'm going to turn it over to them before taking a few questions with you guys.
We'll start with Tim. You want to hop up your journey to where you are now? Can you just take us through the emotions of being undrafted, like George said, working your way to this spot?
This is something you could only dream of, being undrafted and starting from the bottom. You literally take levels of your confidence. Like, all right, they want me to play special teams. All right, I gotta be the best special team player. Then, all right, you get a couple reps here and there at receiver. All right, then you're starting. There were just a lot of levels, a lot of patience, and a lot of self motivation to get where I'm at now. And like I said, I couldn't even dream of something like this. So like I'm very thankful.
Why was this the right deal in the right time for you to stay here?
Like I said earlier, why would I want to leave somewhere that believed in me? Just by them putting the offer on the table, I was ready to sign right away. I'm forever thankful for the Broncos because they didn't have to sign me. I could have been out of the NFL, and just by them giving me a chance, it made all this possible.
How surprised were you by the offer and the timing of it?
How surprised?
Yeah, because you said they put it out there, but
Like I said, like he said, my agent first class. I let him handle all that. I take care of the football stuff.
What was your relationship like with Courtland, especially over the last year? He was out. You came in for him last year. Like how has that kind of pushed your relationship with him?
We grew together. I came in a little bit earlier, but it's kind of like we both came in at the same time because my first year, considered the P squad, it doesn't really count. So we kind of came in together, and we just seen each other grow, and we seen each other get better day in and day out. And I don't think you could come up with a better story than us both getting a contract here and being able to lead this team to some more wins.
Tim, there's kind of this notion you're one of the more underrated guys across the league. Is this contract kind of a sign of respect for your game?
It's a start. It's definitely a start, but I've been underrated my whole career. I kind of like it now at this point.
The thought of going to the free agent market, see if you could make even more money, did you think about that?
Nah, I knew I wanted to be a Bronco.
Anything else for Tim?
Sure, Tim, at 5-5, what sort of gives you confidence about this team and this offense for this stretch run?
So I know you see rankings, right? Everybody got 5 wins except the Chiefs. Everything's right in front of us. We have 5 conference games left. We win those games, we're in the playoffs. You can't really. Why would you look into the offseason when all we gotta do is win our conference game and we're in the playoffs? It's very possible, easily possible.
Okay, thank you, Tim. Courtland?
Congratulations.
I don't know. 7 more. And some.
Court, were you worried that this might not happen when you tore your ACL last year? Was there ever any doubt?
For myself, first off, I want to start off, I want to thank God for being in this position. This is amazing. This is such an honor and a privilege to be in this space. But to answer your question, I really wasn't, discouraged any. It was more of a, this is just another chapter you get to write in your book. It becomes a part of your testimony. The story I get to tell people about how my life went about. I never looked at it as something that I would allow to hinder myself mentally. I talked to you guys a lot about how my rehab process went. I looked at it as an opportunity to, self-evaluate, to, get myself better in whatever aspect it may be, but trying to get better every single day. So I knew that if I went into it with the mindset that I can get better at something every single day through this process, I'm going to like where I'm at on the other side. And, I'm in a spot now physically that I love and, continuing to elevate. I always feel like you're never at a plateau. You never reach a peak. There's always room to climb and to ascend and continue to keep getting better.
Were you surprised by the timing of it when the deal came together?
Kind of like Tim said, my main focus was playing ball. How can I get myself right to go out and perform each week? And I tell my agent and my friend that helps me out a lot. I tell them boys, I told them since the beginning, if I take care of what I got to take care of on the field, everything else take care of itself. And I'm a firm believer in that. And if it happened now, if it happened at the end of the season, whenever it did, I knew that I was gonna show up and go to work every day, whether it was able to get done or not, because I knew that that's just what needed to be done.
Had a few big games this season. You said you're feeling good physically. Is this peak Courtland? Or are you still some ceiling to get to this season in terms of coming back fully from that knee injury?
I feel like my knee's fine. But like I said, I feel like there's always room to improve. Physically, mentally, there's always space to get yourself better. So saying that I'm at a peak, I wouldn't say that at all. I would say that I'm in a better space than I was when I tore my ACL. But I won't say that I'm at a peak. I feel like there's always room to improve. I have space in my game that I can continue to improve on. I have, qualities of my life just as a man that I can continue to improve on, become better. So, I'm not gonna say that I'm at a peak, but I'm at a really good space and continuing to get better.
Why'd you want to stay in Denver?
This is home. This is home. Like Tim said, Denver gave me an opportunity, and getting drafted was one of the best days of my life. And I've always said that being a Bronco was something I want to do for life, and to be able to have this opportunity, it's a blessing. And I'm honored to be able to represent the Denver Broncos and continue to represent the Denver Broncos. And like Tim also said, carrying us to a lot of wins. That's our our new thing, not new thing, but our thing is just making sure that we're doing everything we possibly can to help the team be as successful as we possibly can.
Courtland, Tim talked about your guys' relationship together. There was, obviously some speculation. Can they keep both of you guys? Did you guys have discussions about, hey, we want to team up and stay here as Broncos, and what's your relationship like?
So me and Tim, like Tim explained, we pretty much came in together. He might not have been a rookie when I was a rookie, but we technically kind of came in together, and I got to see his development. He got to see my development. We spent every offseason together pretty much, besides this past one when I had to do rehab. But we've grown to become brothers. When I saw him get his deal done, I was so ecstatic for him. And you look at his journey, and I know you kind of touched on it, but my dog he touched 2 different teams before he was able to get here, and then when he got here, he had to grind his butt off to be able to get into the role, to be able to play receiver, and to see him in the space that he is now. I know I tell you all the time how proud I am of him, but I'm happy that I get to do this alongside him, and I'm excited for the continued success of what we have going on.
How good does it feel when you hear George talk about core players? He said the same thing when Justin and Shelby got their deals, and now you guys get your deals. That he keeps re-signing you guys.
Yeah, it kind of gives you that that understanding that they have the confidence and faith that we're the guys that could get the job done, and having someone believe in you, for at any level. That's like Tim said, that's all you need, somebody to believe in you, and for them to believe in us, to be the guys. It's on us to go prove them right. Continue to elevate our game, continue to be the best that we possibly can be for ourselves and for the team, and that's the standard that we're setting for ourselves. Man, but I don't even know how to explain it. Being here, this being my fourth season, and us, unfortunately not making the playoffs. Knowing the talent that we've had, and especially right now the talent that we have, I've told everybody, since this really all season, but every game is an opportunity. We have 7 left. Like Tim said, we have five divisional games, and if we take care of what we're supposed to take care of, we'll like where we're at the end of that, and we'll get to have that taste of a playoff game. We might not have put ourselves in the best situation so far, but only thing we can't control is what's ahead of us, and these 7 games are important, and we take care of them, we'll get that taste. And like Tim said, it's hard to even put into words how bad we want that for us, the team, for the city. It's been way overdue, for the city to be able to have a playoff game here and a team, the Broncos in the playoffs. And, our job is to make sure that we're doing everything we can to put ourselves in position to get in the playoffs regularly.
Okay, thank you very much, Courtland.
Thank y'all.
We'll have a few for George.
Shout out our receivers coach,
Yeah.
Zach Kazani.
The truth.
The
Yeah,
truth,
you
man.
already know.
RDA, y'all know how we go.
Yeah. Gang. Bronco gang. Hey, yeah, go Utah too. Y'all seen what we did.
Utes.
George, what was the advantage of getting these deals done now?
We just felt the advantage. Once players get out in the open market, you just never know. And these are 2 players we really wanted to lock up.
Was it Cleveland did both of their guards last week? Now you do both receivers. Is there an advantage to that, or just coincidence?
I think it's always an advantage if you can get your good. That was a coincidence. We didn't look at that, and then we always had a plan, during the season, and we meet on this, weekly, daily. about players we want to, talk to. And this just seemed like the right time during the bye. Still a lot of, 7 games left in the season, and talking with both their agents and Rich, and just felt like we might be able to get deals done with both these guys.
Was part of this perhaps to make the package more attractive for a quarterback you might be pursuing in the offseason?
No, we were just trying to get better as a football team and win games, and these guys help us win football games. You can't have enough weapons, and now we have 2 really good ones. We have 3 with Judy, and then some younger guys with Hinton, and so we like where we're at that position.
With Judy and KJ coming back from injury next year, what do you like about that wide receiver group long term?
Yeah, what I really like about it is we have, they're all a little different. Courtland, has speed, he's big, he's physical, and Tim can do a little bit of everything. He'll do the dirty work, run after catch. He can also run. And then you have Judy, who can really separate as a route runner, master route runner. And then Hamler can just take the top off. And you can see we missed that a little bit. We're without Hamler and without Judy. But I really like the receiving group. And even Kendall Hinton making big plays, who's really come on, another testament to Zach Azani, for developing these players. And we got some young guys we like who aren't playing, so we like the group as a whole.
George, you talked a lot about what you like about the skill position players on this roster. What's kind of keeping this group from being a consistently explosive offense to this point?
Yeah, there's a number of things. You can look at the injuries we've had as a whole. And again, I hate to talk about injuries because that's not an excuse. Every team has them. But I would say that's had, we haven't had all the guys together, many games. I think we lost Judy the first game, Hamler maybe the third game, and so just keeping all our guys, the linemen, we lost 3 linemen, I think, against Dallas. But that's part of football, and that's part of the NFL. It's not an excuse. When we're clicking, we're pretty good. We just need to, we haven't clicked enough.
Any more?
What's your cap situation with these 2 deals going forward? Do you still like you have a lot of flexibility?
Yeah, we have the resources to do whatever we want. Moving forward, we're going to have a lot of cap room. We're going to have cash. We have 11 draft picks. So we have a lot of flexibility. And I always talk about flexibility, but we do have a lot of flexibility moving forward. And we locked up 2 of our primary free agents.
You talked about rewarding homegrown guys. I think you said the same thing when you signed Justin and Shelby back in the spring. Just how important is that to you to keep guys that have obviously worked their way up in this?
Well, it's huge. You want to take care of the guys who do it the right way, both on the field, off the field. And what it does, it gives guys like Javonte Williams, Patrick Surtain, and all the young guys, and they look up to that. And they see how these guys work. So when you reward your guys who work the hardest, the young guys are watching. I think it rubs off. It really helps with your culture, moving forward.
George, just a few more for George. As part of this, you were talking to both of their agents at the same time to make sure you had one in case maybe one of them didn't like the deal, so you don't.
All along we wanted both, and that was our priority, is to get both done. Now, if we couldn't get them done, then we would have to wait and see what happened in the off season, and maybe they go test it. But it feels much better getting these 2 players locked up.
Anybody else besides these 2 that you're thinking of?
Yeah, we're always looking, Mike, and we have other good, really good players as free agents, and we'll just kind of see how that goes. And this is Tim and Courtland's day, so I really don't want to talk about other players, but we do have other guys that are really important to our team.
Since you got here, you've always seemed to really like Courtland Sutton. When did he stick out to you? Was it when you got here? Was it during the draft process?
Well, the draft process, and then when we played him a couple of years back, and we couldn't cover him, that had something to do with it. We thought we had pretty good corners, but we couldn't cover him. So that's really when I first saw it. But then when I came here, and like I said, every day I look out that window and I see him working, or I go over to the weight room and he's working, and he does it with a smile. There's no mope, and that's what you want in your team, because he'll rub off. It's contagious, and he is contagious. Both these players are contagious to our whole locker room. If you let those guys go, you have no chance. Those are the kind of guys everyone looks up to, and great people, great players, and they do it the right way.
Last one, Ryan. At 5-5 going into this last sprint, what do you like about your team that says, hey, maybe they can get hot?
Yeah, we've talked about this. I just want to really, leave it to, talk about Tim and Courtland, and we talked about the team. I still believe in this team. Obviously the last 2 weeks, it's been up and down, but you saw what we can do when we put all together against Dallas.
Thank you very much, George.
Thank you.